Welcome back to your podcast home for motorsports conversation. Jack Arute's Wind Tunnel.
They bump, they bang, side by side for the race lead to turn one. Ryan Newman goes underneath Andretti. Can Marco cross over back? Newman gets away. Ryan Newman is one lap away from a win at Stafford. The 44-year-old from South Bend, Indiana, brings the fans to their feet. The checkered flag waves tonight over Ryan Newman, a superstar racing experience winner at Stafford.
A couple of weeks ago, the SRX series came to my family's track, the Stafford Motor Speedway in Connecticut, and it gave me the chance to take Wind Tunnel on a road trip. Now, during that trip to Stafford, I caught up with Ryan Newman, who was competing there not only in the SRX series on Saturday night, but he also snared a modified ride for the Tour-type modified 80-lap special event on Friday night. Now, remember, this is the first year that Ryan is not part of the NASCAR Cup scene. And while he spends long overdue time on his farm, and case in point, his daddy's road trip with his daughters, it's all about family now. Rocket Van brought both Ashlyn and Brooklyn along on that trip to Stafford, and they watched Dad race a Tour-type modified Friday night. And then, as you just heard, Daddy went on and scored his first SRX victory and his first win since leaving NASCAR's Cup Series last season. I got the chance to sit down with Ryan in the afternoon prior to the running of the SRX event. And with both Brooklyn and Ashlyn listening in, had this conversation with the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. But my, how things have changed, Ryan Newman. A tremendous career in stock car racing and now part of the SRX brigade.
Yeah, thinking back, my open wheel career was started in quarter midgets and then midgets and sprint cars and Silver Crown cars, eventually raced some stock cars, and now I'm here at Stafford running a open wheel modified on a Friday night and an SRX stock car on a Saturday night. So I guess I'm still mixing them both together.
I'd be interested in your impressions because you've driven all over the country in short tracks. You really do support the short track industry. Your impressions of what you encountered last during that big block modified event?
You know, it's pretty tough. Stafford's a really nice racetrack. It's pretty tight. Not 3 lanes wide, no doubt, and just makes it a little bit more challenging to pass. And it's so tough a competition up here. These guys do this for a living, and they're really good at it. They know the setup. So my first time seeing the racetrack and starting 21st and finishing 8th wasn't too bad. But overall, just fun and tough all at the same time.
I got a sense that it ignited a hunger that you want to not get mad but get even.
Well, I mean, it worked for a good warm-up for tonight. I mean, we've got 12 other of the best drivers in the world, so I look forward to just having a chance to race against them in SRX. And some of them haven't seen the place, but some of them raced here last year, so I got my advantages and disadvantages, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
Ryan, I was totally taken aback. The people at CBS did a terrific job going behind Ryan Newman's world and something that's near and dear to your heart, and that is your car collection. And I could identify with that triumph that you've treasured, but most importantly, I also understood the importance of that car that almost took your life.
Yeah, that's 2 special cars. One, my first car was 74 Triumph TR6, which ironically Paul Tracy said he had one when he was younger too, so we all have a lot of things that are in common in the racing industry, and some of the things on the racetrack and off are very special to us. But that 2020 Cup car from Daytona was a tough one. Feel so blessed and fortunate to live through it, but have a disaster of a trophy to remember that day, and that's okay with me. I'd rather be able to remember it than not.
Let's talk about life after Cup. People, I know most of my listeners cannot appreciate how much you have to dedicate, not just on a weekend at the racetrack, but your entire life to that career at 36 plus races, week in and week out with a sacrifice of many things. You've been able to successfully step away from it. How has that affected Ryan Newman?
I'm still learning because it is fairly new. I feel like we we don't necessarily realize some of the things that we miss. And my daughters now being 11 and 9 gives me an opportunity to spend some more time with them. They're here at the SRX race this weekend. But I've said this to several people. I've never met anybody that said I spent too much time with my kids when they were younger. So I'm doing my best that I can to spend as much time as I possibly can. And I'm pretty confident I'm still not going to say that I spent too much time with my kids when they were younger.
There's an old saying, especially with girls. It's from the day they hit the ground to the day you hit the ground. It's COD, call on dad. Do your two girls do the same thing? Do they look to you for everything and anything?
I would say I think so. I don't know so. I'm sure there's going to be some times in life where they choose to go to other people or their friends, or we all make decisions that are questionably bad, but ultimately I'm proud to do the things that I do with them and be the best dad that I can be, and some of that's at the racetrack, some of that's away from the racetrack, and try to make a good balance of it so they have fun.
Do you get to share secrets with them?
Yeah, my oldest drives outlaw carts. She's a couple years into it, so just trying to teach her some of the things that Buddy Baker taught me years ago is pretty special. So, Brooklyn.
Well, Brooklyn, you reacted when he talked about your driving career, so I want to give you an opportunity to answer it.
I'm good.
All right, now you got to remember, I'm going to interrupt the interview for just a second because literally it was interrupted by both Brooklyn and Ashlyn. Now, they're well-mannered, but they just enjoyed poking fun at Dad with side comments off of the microphone and making faces, and the laughter ensued. And all of it made Ryan Newman smile. And that's when, abruptly, unannounced, Ryan grabbed the microphone and proceeded to have a conversation that you now get to listen with Brooklyn and Ashlyn Newman.
So, Brooklyn, when we were talking about racing and you racing outlaw carts and on dirt and all that stuff, but tell me, what's your ultimate racing dream? What do you want to do as you grow up and mature to be a race car driver?
My goal in racing is to beat you.
To beat me?
Yes.
But I don't always win.
In a race. I want to beat
You want to beat me in a race?
Yes. Wow.
Okay. So even if I run 5th, as long as you're 4th, that's okay?
Yep.
So we got to talk about that because the ultimate goal is to be a winner, not just to beat your dad.
My goal is to beat you. I'm going to beat you.
Well, I hope you can and do, and I hope that I'm first when you pass me.
I beat my dad.
Okay. And I believe somebody else wanted to ask you a few questions.
I don't know. How old are you? I'm 11. Wow. What do you want me to say?
I'm not good at interviewing.
What's the question?
How many children do you want to have?
14.
I thought you'd be ponytail all day. You guys look totally non-racist. All right, we're going back to the station with this.
So, as you can see, it's likely not the typical wind tunnel interview that you're used to, but for me, and I hope for you, it surely was a memorable one. We'll return with more in just a moment.